In the year 1453, an empire that had stood for over 1,000 years confronted its ultimate challenge. Enter the Byzantine Empire, a beacon of cultural and scholarly enlightenment, spanning from the Mediterranean to the Middle East. Its heart, Constantinople, was a jewel of strategic importance, a bridge between East and West, where cultures intertwined and flourished. As the last beacon of the ancient world, Byzantium was on the precipice of a cataclysmic event. The formidable Ottoman forces were gathering at the gates of Constantinople, setting the stage for an epic siege. The year was 1453, and the Ottoman Sultan Mehmed II had set his sights on the jewel of Byzantium. With an army numbering in the hundreds of thousands, the Ottomans were a formidable force, ready to test the mettle of the Byzantine Empire. The Byzantines, on the other hand, were not unprepared. Their defensive strategies were a testament to their ingenuity and their will to survive. The city of Constantinople was surrounded by imposing walls, some reaching as high as 40 feet, a formidable barrier that had safeguarded the city for centuries. One of the most ingenious defenses was the massive chain that stretched across the Golden Horn, a natural harbor to the north of the city. This colossal chain prevented enemy ships from penetrating the harbor, a crucial line of defense that kept the Ottomans at bay. The Byzantines bolstered their defenses with the aid of Genoese and Venetian mercenaries, men who were well versed in the art of war. They fortified the city walls, manned the towers, and prepared for the onslaught that was to come. And then, the siege began. The Ottomans unleashed a barrage of cannon fire, their warships prowling the waters, their soldiers ready to breach the city's defenses. The air was filled with the roar of cannons, the clash of steel, and the shouts of men. The Byzantines fought back with fervor, their arrows raining down on the Ottoman forces, their fireships attacking the enemy fleet. It was an epic battle, a contest of wills between two great powers. The Byzantines, though outnumbered, were determined to defend their city, their home, their empire. The Ottomans, driven by ambition and the desire for conquest, were relentless in their assault. But even the most formidable fortifications were about to be tested like never before. As the siege wore on, the Byzantines would come to realize the full might of the Ottoman Empire, and the world would witness the beginning of the end of an era. The face of warfare was changing, and this battle would be a testament to that. As the siege of Byzantium raged on, both sides pushed the boundaries of military technology, forever altering the course of combat. It was the Ottomans who introduced a game-changer, the cannon. This was no ordinary weapon. The Ottomans had cannons of such colossal proportions that they were seen as harbingers of doom by the Byzantines. These monstrous machines could hurl projectiles weighing hundreds of pounds over a mile, pulverizing anything in their path. The thunderous roar of these cannons, their smoke-filled discharge, and the devastation they wrought were unlike anything the Byzantines had ever witnessed. For centuries, the walls of Constantinople had been the city's stalwart defenders, repelling numerous invasions. These walls, a marvel of ancient engineering, had held strong against conventional siege weaponry. But the Ottomans' cannons were far from conventional. The Byzantines, for their part, were not bereft of innovation. They had Greek fire, a weapon so fearsome and mysterious that it became the stuff of legend. This incendiary substance, akin to a primitive napalm, could continue burning even on water, causing panic and chaos among enemy ranks. Despite its terrifying effectiveness, Greek fire was not enough to counter the destructive power of the Ottoman cannons. As the siege continued, the relentless bombardment by the cannons gradually wore down the formidable city walls. The Byzantines worked tirelessly day and night to repair the damage, but it was a losing battle. The walls, once thought invincible, were crumbling. And then, it happened. The moment that would seal Constantinople's fate. A cannonball found its mark, creating a breach in the city walls. It was a sight that sent a chill down the spines of the Byzantines. Their city, their home, was open to the enemy. The walls of Constantinople, once thought invincible, had been breached. The face of warfare had indeed changed, and the Byzantines found themselves on the losing side of this battle of innovation. This was the beginning of the end for the mighty Byzantium. The unthinkable had happened. The Byzantine Empire had fallen. The final moments of the siege were nothing short of cataclysmic. Constantinople, the heart of Byzantium, a city that had stood strong for over 1,000 years, was under the control of Ottoman forces. The city's once impregnable walls were breached, and the streets echoed with the sound of battle cries and despair. The Byzantines fought bravely, their spirit unbroken despite the odds. but bravery alone could not turn the tide. The city's defenses were overwhelmed, its soldiers outmatched. The Byzantine flag, which had fluttered proudly atop the city walls for centuries, was taken down, replaced by the Ottoman banner. The fall of the city was not just a military defeat, it was the end of an era. The human aspect of this event was overwhelming. It was a time of fear and bravery, of loss and change. The Byzantines, once the rulers of a great empire, were now subjects of the Ottomans. Their city, a beacon of culture and knowledge, was now in the hands of a new power. Imagine the fear of the Byzantine people, watching as their world crumbled around them. The bravery of the soldiers, fighting to the last, knowing that their era was ending. The loss, as the city they loved fell into the hands of the enemy. Yet, amidst the chaos and despair, there was also resilience. A resilience that would shape the future of the city and its people. The fall of Constantinople was more than just the end of the Byzantine Empire. It was a pivotal moment in world history. The loss of the city marked the end of the medieval era and paved the way for the Renaissance. The city, under its new rulers, would become a bridge between East and West, influencing the course of history in ways the Byzantines could never have imagined. The fall of Constantinople marked the end of an era, but it was also the beginning of a new one. The fall of an empire often leaves an indelible mark on history. As the sun set on Byzantium, so too did a chapter of human civilization. But every ending is also a beginning. The fall of Constantinople, the last bastion of the Byzantine Empire, was not merely the end of an epoch, it was also the genesis of a new era. Byzantium was a crucible of culture, a melting pot where East met West, where ancient knowledge was safeguarded and new ideas were born. Its libraries housed the wisdom of the ancients, preserving invaluable texts from the likes of Aristotle and Plato, even as the rest of Europe plunged into the darkness of the Middle Ages. The Byzantine scholars, keepers of this ancient wisdom, fled the falling city, bringing with them a wealth of knowledge that would ignite the intellectual explosion known as the Renaissance. The Byzantine Empire was also a beacon of art and architecture. The grandeur of the Hagia Sophia, with its majestic dome and intricate mosaics, remains a testament to the empire's artistic prowess. Its influence permeated throughout Europe, inspiring a new wave of artistic expression that would shape the face of Western art for centuries to come. But perhaps the most profound legacy of Byzantium is its role in shaping the modern world. The fall of Constantinople in 1453 marked the end of the Middle Ages and the beginning of the modern era. It disrupted the trade routes between Europe and Asia, prompting explorers to seek new paths to the east. This quest for new routes led to the Age of Discovery, and the world as we know it began to take shape. In its thousand-year history, Byzantium stood as a bridge between cultures, a guardian of knowledge and a crucible of innovation. Its legacy continues to echo through the corridors of time, shaping our understanding of the past and influencing the course of the future. The fall of Byzantium was not just the end of an empire, but a pivotal moment that would shape the course of world history.